cannot believe our 30-day yoga challenge is almost over. It's day 28 of our 30-day yoga challenge, asking that big question and answering it, who am I, through yoga. I've purposefully left off this more spiritual topic until closer to the end of our practice. And let me ask you a really simple but probably pretty evocative question. If you've been with me on this journey for 28 days now, first of all, wow, good for you. But if you've been doing this for 28 days, I want you to pause and go back to when you first started this yoga challenge. What do you remember? What was it like to be you behind your eyes starting a 30-day yoga challenge? Were you thinking you could do it? Maybe you took a couple days off, a couple weeks off. Maybe you missed some days. But whatever, go back to the beginning. Remember being there behind your eyes. Remember what it felt like to be you. Did you have judgments, evaluations, hopes? It's the same you that's been there this entire time. And that's what's really important about this practice, is that even though we learn new things, new repertoires of moving, of breathing, of thinking, it's always been the same you that shows up to this practice, that notices your thoughts, feels your sensations, learns about your range of mobility and movement, learns how to put load on your system and take load off of your system. It's you that learns how to master meditation. But it's always the same you. And that's how we begin to answer this big spiritual question around who am I through yoga. We acknowledge that who we are is separate from what we experience. Just as you can hear the sound of my voice right now, you know you're not the words coming out of my mouth. You know you're not the sound of my voice. Just as you can notice thoughts when I say, imagine an airplane or imagine a bus. You know you're not those thoughts. Just like I know I'm not the thought, I'm unlovable, or Tim, you're fat, man. I'm not those thoughts. I have experiences, I notice them, but that's not who I am. Today's yoga practice is going to focus on getting some distance from the content of the mind and being present to the ongoing flow of our lives, to the ongoing flow of our experience. It's constantly moving, and it's about us being the observer of it and not being too caught up in it. And by the way, sometimes you want to be caught up in it. Like when you're watching a great movie on Netflix, or you're watching Stranger Things and the Demogorgon is like coming through the wall. I mean, if you're a film student, maybe you want to be like, I wonder how they created that visual effect. But usually you want to be really fused with that. But from this spiritual perspective of yoga, we want ourselves to just acknowledge that what we think and what we feel is just stuff that we notice. That we're constantly a separate observer of those experiences. All right, let's get started with day 28, answering the big question of who am I through yoga. Let's make our way back down onto the ground. And this time you are going to need a wall. So please find a space that is free of any obstructions. You're going to need a floor that's free and a wall. You don't need a vast space. What we're going to do is have our legs up the wall into our final inversion, our last pose of this practice. Now, my favorite way to get into a legs up the wall is to have myself come and sit right against the wall. So with my hip against the wall, with my legs crossed, I then make my way onto my back and then working my legs up the wall. This way I don't find myself trying to scooch closer and closer to the wall. My butt is right up against the wall, and I can then move myself away from the wall to take off any tension off my back, or to stay up nice and close against the wall if that's feeling right. So getting in nice and close to the wall with your left hip against the wall, you may wish to have your legs crossed, making your way onto your back, turning your legs up the wall. And from here, experiment with keeping the legs bent, your feet on the wall, or pressing through your heels. The legs come nice and long as the legs are supported by the wall. And if you notice any tension, or you feel your body sort of like an accordion being bunched up against the wall, that's probably not a good thing. Maybe just sort of inch yourself away from the wall. But I use that term carefully. Inch yourself. You don't really need to pull yourself far away from the wall. This posture is about having the back flat on the ground and the legs going up the wall, so we can enjoy an inversion here. Inversions are a really big foundational part of yoga practices and how we start to cool down and end our practice. You may wish to have the arms splayed out. Maybe experiment with having your hands crossed over the belly or cactusing the arms onto the ground. And noticing any tingling sensations in the feet as the blood makes its way down. Maybe wiggle your toes. If you notice any low back pain, you may wish to grab a blanket or towel and place it underneath the low back, folding it, and experimenting with different heights, seeing what's right for your body. And if you have mobility issues and the best that you're able to do right now is to move over towards the wall, get on your back, but you're not able to extend your legs, can that be okay? Maybe getting some distance from the wall and just having your knees bent with your feet flat against the wall and enjoying as much of an inversion as you can have in this time, in this space. There is no need for your yoga practice to look a specific way. This is about your body. Your yoga practice can be as variable as you are. Just taking a moment here, enjoying the sensations of being in this inversion. Breathing in, noticing distractions. Just allowing yourself a moment to be here in this practice. We've been moving our bodies throughout this yoga challenge. And notice that your body may feel different from day 1 in comparison to here, day 28. Maybe bring some motion into your body wherever it allows. Maybe notice if the range of motion has increased. Perhaps it's decreased in areas. Noticing perhaps sensations that you didn't notice before. Maybe you're noticing more pain. Great, thanks, Tim. I'm better at noticing my pain now. Notice that it's the same you that's there behind your eyes on this 28th day of our yoga challenge that was there on the first day. Cells in your body have died, and new ones have grown. Perhaps you've had a haircut in the last 28 days. Perhaps you're feeling more mobile. But regardless of physical changes, regardless of new information that we've gained, it's still the same you that's there behind your eyes, experiencing, noticing. Just as you can notice the sound of my voice, you can notice your thoughts in this moment. Notice your feelings. Notice the sensations in your body. Breathe that in, that awareness, that there's a distinct you that's there. We're going to get into a supine posture called Shavasana. Here in this Shavasana posture, maybe lift your head up, lengthen through the spine, and then place your head back down on the floor. Allow yourself to feel your body being supported by the earth. And notice any places that you may be carrying tension. A place that I oftentimes carry tension, even though it's not going to help me through a single damn yoga posture, is in my jaw. I notice myself clenching my teeth and tightness in my jaw. So I'm going to consciously, as I'm sharing this practice with you right now, I'm actually going to make an effort to just allow the muscles around my jaw to relax, knowing that it's not going to help me teach you some of these foundational yoga postures today. Allowing your arms to go heavy. If your knees are bent, just allowing your feet to press down into the ground. Allowing any tension to drop out of the shoulders and out of the back. Wherever you find yourself in this Shavasana posture, just find some stillness. Breathe. Be with your body. Notice what it feels like to be in this posture. Just laying here for a moment. Paying attention specifically to the sensations that you're experiencing. Any places where your body may be calling out. As we were taking that breath together, just noticing the sensations of breathing. Notice any feelings that may be showing up for you, any felt emotional qualities. And this is the easiest one for me last, noticing your thoughts. These could be words, this could be judgments, evaluations, just verbal stuff between your ears, behind your eyes. Even reactions to me asking you to pause and have a breath in our practice here today. My stomach just grumbled a little bit and I noticed the sensation of it, and I actually felt a little pang of insecurity as my mind came up with like, oh great, maybe the microphone's gonna pick that up and that's gonna harsh somebody's yoga buzz for this practice. I'm just here with you, just noticing my own sensations, feelings, and thoughts. Remember, you are not your sensations, you are not your feelings, and you are not your thoughts. You're separate from them. You notice them. If you ask yourself, well then who am I? You are the noticer. Take a breath, breathe in. As we begin to end this practice, pause for a moment and reconnect with what it is that's important to you about doing this yoga challenge. And whatever shows up, my invitation to you is to be present to it. You may wish to maintain this posture for a few minutes after this video ends, but I'm going to take this opportunity to say thank you so much for participating in this practice. The light in me acknowledges and bows to the light in you. Namaste. I'd like to finish by saying thank you so much for sharing your energy with me on this practice today, being a part of this yoga challenge. Don't forget to hit the like button. It's super reinforcing to me, makes me want to make more of these videos. Hit subscribe and the bell icon to keep updated on these videos so that you don't miss any of them. And definitely share this with people in your world, because you never know who's going to benefit from this 30-day yoga challenge. Thank you so much. Namaste.